and I needed to reach out and hold on to something to steady myself, like I was at sea, and the ship was being churned around, and I was feeling nauseous. Maybe you can identify that as well. Like, we don't feel like that all the time. We get over it, but I mean, it shocks our world. It really turns everything we thought that we knew about the world, and when we say the world, about people, about the civilization, about the society that we were born into. And it's moments like that when you say to yourself, it is absolutely true that everything that I ever thought that I knew about this place and these people that surround me was a lie. And it wasn't just that they told me lies, it was that they knowingly and with malice allowed me to believe things that they knew were false. You know, that's why, like me, you probably went through grief and anger. Grief at I suppose it's a loss of innocence. It's another layer of a loss of innocence. And anger at those who came before me. My parents, my aunties and uncles, my grandparents, my teachers, all the adults around me. If they ever pat me on the head and say, there's a clever little boy now. But they didn't want to tell me anything that maybe would have been of any use to me to prevent what happened to us all, which was we all opened our mouths in front of people who we shouldn't have, and identified ourselves to them as people who need to be put down with great prejudice. We grew tall, like little sunflowers growing tall to reach the sun, sticking our heads out, sticking our faces out there, shining in the light. Not realizing. It's like in World War I in the trenches, they said, do not ever give somebody a third light. If they haven't lit their cigarette by the second time, don't give them the third light. Otherwise, the enemy will have trained in on your position by then. And the next time, that'll be it. And you'll be gone. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not too angry. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
First off, that was a fucking well fucking put. That's all I gotta say on that. Well fucking put. I'm a little bit backwards on because there's so many people that become aware of the glitter in life, right? And they have everything you just said. And I just told a really close friend of mine not 2 nights ago. We sat down, we had a 4-hour long conversation. It was great. However, for me growing up, I grew up in a very small town. Very religious family. Very. However, my 6th great grandfather started the state of Vermont. And he also wrote a book called Reason, the Only Oracle of Man. And I read that when I was like 12 or 13. And that's what really started me questioning the status quo. Questioning the institution of the church. And from there, I started really researching Martin Luther. And I remember asking my youth pastor the same questions along the same lines as Ethan Allen in his book that I was just speaking about, and Martin Luther, and going into their lies, that famous sermon that you're not supposed to read. And my church was very, very peripheral. And I remember asking him, that youth pastor, those same questions. And, you can't ask those questions or you go to hell. And I was like, all right, fuck you. I'm not going to church now. And from there, instead of letting me be told history, I started looking into it myself. You're not supposed to read.
My campfire. Mel Brooks loved the Eskimos. Well, Jerry Seinfeld loved the Eskimos.
Let's look at this deeper. It's 14, 15 years old. I'm reading.
My campfire.
But for me, I thought everybody was aware of the
Eskimo. And
they just didn't care. And I think there's a lot of people out there like that. Or like the buddy that I just filled in the other day. Like me, we both got injured fighting for a fucking
Eskimo.
We both got fight. We both joined the military. We both got fucking fucked up. Him, on the other hand, I thought he was aware of this
Eskimo.
because I went through life thinking everybody's aware and just did not care. It really wasn't until Twitter and hearing all the people waking up to this that I'm like, wow, maybe people just don't know.